Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Livestream. We have Tim Danter here tonight. We're going to be talking about, trading psychology. So it's going to be pretty cool. I actually did make a slide deck for this one because I got some pretty pictures to help us out. Before we get into the content, though, let's see what's going on with you guys. So let's see here. We got Dave D, who is wondering if we're doing a show tonight. He says 149, and that's really weird. I think what happened is when I was setting up the stream deck, it didn't ask me for the time. So I think it just threw in the time, and it was then. I went in after the fact and changed the time on YouTube. But if you're seeing 149, that's probably when I did that. So, that might be what you're seeing. So that is interesting. Hopefully,
well, we're a little bit late if it's 149.
Well, yeah, we're
better late than never.
We're definitely late. Whoa. Nice. Can't wait. Awesome. And then we've got the friggin' Oracle evening hall. Hello from Dave. The man's still tired after last night's stream. Holy
what
banana
time did you
bread.
go to?
It was a 6-hour stream.
Oh my God. Oh, this Candace said it's not 6 hours tonight, right? I do.
No.
I'm a little older these days and need my beauty sleep.
No, my goal tonight is about 90 minutes. So
perfect.
I figured that would be a good amount of time, especially, people might want to perhaps roll up after the stream and watch like a Christmas movie with some hot cocoa. 'Tis the season.
Good idea.
But yeah, the show last night was actually really cool.
Oh yeah?
Well, Ken and Nay went into the metaverse.
Oh dear.
And a rather feeling good Rye had a lot of interesting comments about it that were just hilarious.
When you say they went into the metaverse, explain that. Did they literally go in and start playing with it, or did they just get into the conversation about it?
Oh no, they actually went in. They were in their avatars and everything.
What?
Oh yeah, they went and watched the moon landing.
The moon landing?
Yeah, apparently NASA has some NFTs put together that simulates the moon landing. So your avatar is standing on the moon, and you can watch the Apollo come down and land and get off and everything.
I thought, what the hell's the moon landing on? It is the metaverse. I'm sorry, but I go there. It's like,
I hear you.
For an extra coin or two, anything's possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Dave did mention as well, it was a long one. I went back and watched the end today. Yeah, it was definitely very, very long. There were a lot of good jokes throughout the night, though. So the bar's been raised high for you tonight, because I had to pick up all the joking last night.
Okay.
And then we've got Ryan in the house, and Dave D is saying hi to Rye. The moon landing in audio was pretty cool, actually, and it was because the fun that Ryan was having at their expense. He was actually kind of a little bit in awe when they were on the moon. And while you were on the moon, you could actually buy NFTs there, like if you wanted to buy a spacesuit. So that was kind of cool.
Wow.
And then, hey, Dave, and there's the interesting thing. When me and the Oracle got offline last night at about 2 a.m.
Oh my God.
As far as I know, Ryan and Nay stuck around for a bit longer, so it'd be interesting to know how many more hours they put in.
That's crazy.
So, that really, really is.
That's like a full-time job. That's a full day at work.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that. Well, I was pretty tired. I mean,
I won't lie to you. I woke up, had to go to the washroom. It was like, I don't know, 12:45. I thought, I wonder. Yep, there they were. There y'all were. Just and it was like, whoa. Wonder if this is going to be a record.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about they were talking about going for 12 hours or more, and I'm just like,
oh Jesus,
no. 6 hours is about my limit. I was ready to tap out if Ken hadn't tapped out. And then Ken says that
he bailed first.
Well, me and Ken probably hit our buttons at the exact same time.
Oh.
To leave, so.
That's
and
hilarious.
Then I talked to Nate today. And even today, I don't know if you saw Nate's stream today. It was entitled something about stream late because of high rise.
Was it?
Yeah. So that was kind of funny. That was absolutely funny. So I think, yeah, they were both up definitely past their bedtime. So hard to say.
I'm telling you, we've got Rye on Sunday, nothing Monday, nothing Tuesday, us Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
nothing Thursday, Ken Friday, you Saturday. So that's 5 days a week. We could open a news channel.
We pretty much could. That would be kind of neat. Then we could have a budget maybe and have like little ticker sounds. Because that would be kind of cool. Yeah. And today was different. Today I actually, this week I'm doing 5 videos. So I got the first one filmed today. And it was hard. It's a good video and I'm sitting on it. And I'm like, and I have to sit on it till Monday without uploading it. So it's like,
How come?
Well, because it's Monday's video. Because I made a commitment to put out a video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week.
Yeah, but you can schedule it for release.
Well, yeah, I could upload it and schedule it. Yeah, I could do that. I may actually do that tomorrow. Then I don't have to worry about it Monday morning.
That's right.
But and then tomorrow, I'm trying to get another one done tomorrow. That way, I don't have to worry until Wednesday. So Wednesday will be a busy day because I got to make a video in the morning, and then Wednesday night, crypto night in Canada. And then Thursday's fine. I can make a video Thursday, make a video Friday because I got really nothing else in there other than Ken's show Friday night.
But Christmas Eve.
Well, that's if Ken's doing one Christmas Eve. That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, he's here thinking of odd live stream throughout the week now. Thinking of odd live stream throughout the week. You mean just like a random night?
That's just what we need. He was promoting the Canadian channels. Ooh. That's probably Nay. Nay's always promoting your channel, my channel, Ryan's channel. So, and that's really, and he's awesome like that. And he makes you feel good when you show in. He gets so excited when any one of the 3 of us come in. So you absolutely have to love that. And there it is, thinking of a odd live stream throughout the week. Okay, well, that could be interesting. All right, let's actually move into
randomness, he says.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to move into the content. I know we don't have a lot of people here yet, and we may not get a lot tonight just for the simple reason that there's a lot of people watching Christmas movies, drinking cocoa, and plus StreamYard was telling people my stream was at 2 this afternoon. For whatever reason. But about 75% of my viewers actually watch my stream after it gets put up on YouTube after the stream is over. So
did you post it on mine?
I didn't, because normally you forward it over.
I was busy. I just got here in time tonight to do that.
Yeah. And then yes, randomness.
All right. Great.
Oh yes, absolutely. All right. So as you guys know, the topic from the title is we're going to be talking a little bit about psychology tonight. And we're going to do stuff that you're already familiar with. And then we're going to go down a slight rabbit hole. Because we all like rabbit holes. So let's bring up the main screen here. So we're going to just start with the 2 basic psychology concepts that are experienced by investors. These are the one that everybody knows about. And just a sec, I got a spammer here. I just have to remove her. Bye-bye. Nice knowing you. Go spam somebody else. All right. There we go. Okay, so back to the 2 basic psychology concepts experienced by investors. And you guys should know these. You guys have heard of them a billion times. The first one is FUD. So that's your fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And there is not a shortage of that going around right now. I will admit I felt it. I'm sure I know that Nancy's been feeling it lately.
Jesus.
It's
Wednesday
one of those
night.
Well, yeah, exactly. Wednesday night. That was a huge dose of FUD. And I know a lot of people left that stream feeling a lot of fear, uncertainty, doubt.
That was not my intention.
Oh, no, absolutely. And you know what, guys? It's absolutely normal to feel that way, but it's what you do with the feelings that counts. So, for example, when your stocks are dropping and you start thinking, oh my God, I'm losing money. What am I going to do? And you start to second guess yourself. And next thing you know, you're selling in a loss. You're realizing your losses. And that's where FUD will certainly do you in. It's not a good place to be. And a lot of times, I will hate to say it, but a lot of times the YouTubers can be just as bad at creating it. Because you can go, and I know when I first started watching YouTube videos for finances, I would go to one channel, they'd be pumping Bitcoin, and I would leave that channel with feeling a whole bunch of FOMO. And the next channel I went to watch, they'd be explaining to me how the sky is falling, and I'd leave that channel with a whole bunch of FUD. And it's sort of like an elastic band going up and down with your emotions. And that's really not a great place to be. And it makes it very difficult to make good decisions because you have to sort of learn how to sort of step outside of the FUD and look at things without emotions and make rational decisions. And if you're one of these people who has a hard time when you're being gripped by FUD, what I find is enter with a game plan. If you have a game plan ahead of time, you'll still feel the FUD, but then you've got something physical that you can look up and say, oh yeah, I'm not selling this because I know it's going back up. Despite the fact that, Harvey Humpscruncher there on that YouTube channel said that the sky is falling and we all better be selling everything immediately. So you want to...
That's a good point. You said, have a plan, right? What if that plan isn't attainable? Because you said even before that, fear or FUD can create you selling at a loss. So wouldn't that kind of...
Well,
is there a danger there, I should say?
The danger, I guess the biggest danger is if you let's say you had a stock in a company that there's some serious stuff, let's say something, whether it be legal issues or maybe the CEO of the company just took off with, something that's happening within the company that's unstabilizing the whole company. That's kind of that exception to that rule. So in a case like that, and this is one of the reasons that you should be using due diligence. So when you have a company and you're a little bit worried about it, well, don't just sort of blindly sit back and say, okay, well, it's just FUD. I'll just wait until, the company's doing better. I'll be okay. It's still smart to take a look in the news, go to the company's website, see if you can find out what's going on. If it's a situation where everybody's in the red, well, everybody's in the red. That's kind of like the norm for December. But if this is a company, all of a sudden it's falling, but their competitors are not, that's alarm bells. In a case like that, I'm going to start doing some investigating, finding out why. And in a case like that, if I look at it and the technicals on that company, if those technicals are very, very worrying, then I might sell at a loss in a case like that. Like if I truly believe, based on technicals, based on intelligence, that company's in trouble, then getting out of that company is not a bad thing. On the bright side, that loss, you can use that later in the year to help with taxes. So that's I always think of that too. But you don't want to jump the gun. You want to do your due diligence. You want to make sure that you're jumping for a reason that's not because you're afraid or uncertain or doubtful. So that's kind of that thing. Okay. Give me a second here. We'll catch caught up on these before we go to the next one. So I went down a Jim Henson rabbit hole the other day. It was fun. Is that like Fraggle Rock? Yeah, because was that a hole or
all
something?
about
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah, I forgot. I remember that. I never got into that, but I do regrettably remember that.
Yeah, the theme song never leaves your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that got me big time. Harvey Humpscruncher is a friend of mine. I watch his videos all the time.
You know what's scary is he knows how to spell it.
I'm actually really impressed with his spelling on that one. That's amazing. Dave D, I haven't been in crypto that long, but long enough that the dips don't bother me anymore. And you do get used to it. So absolutely. And welcome, Panda. Yee yee. Anyone use MetaTrader 4? I don't use MetaTrader 4. Tim?
What is it?
Good question. I don't even know.
That's why I don't use it.
Well, that might be it too. I have hypotheses, but I don't actually.
You go, I'll search it.
Okay. And Dave D, Muppets. No, I haven't, Panda. So I think everybody is not there. But so that was fear, uncertainty, doubt. Now the flip side of fear, uncertainty, doubt is that fear of missing out. And that's one of these things, because what's interesting with this one is even though it's a fear, you're also feeling pretty smug because you're watching that market go up and you're thinking to yourself, I got to jump in right now and I'm going to make bank. Unfortunately, a lot of times this happens when it's already too late to make bank. You're jumping in as all the people who created this big pump, the people who jumped in at the bottom are starting to sell. So you end up getting caught in this cycle where you've just put a bunch of money in and it drops. And guess what happens when it drops? Well, we go backwards again to fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And that, causes a little bit of an issue because sometimes people will do the opposite of what good traders should be doing. Because if you ever listen to, to anybody who's been in the stock market for a while, they will tell you buy low, sell high. Well, when you fall into FOMO, a lot of times you end up getting in that cycle where you're buying high and selling low. And that's a recipe of basically giving away your bank account. So you definitely don't want to be doing that.
And I think that cycle, Candace, is probably your typical cycle of where you get the naysayers, sorry, Nate, if you're listening, about crypto's a scheme, it's this and that. It's just because they're not there is a definition to insanity, right? And if you keep doing the buying the FOMO, selling the FUD, you know what I mean, or vice versa, and you get into that, it can create the negative Nellies about it. And they get so wrapped up because they say, I'll get it next time, I'll get it next time, get it next time. It's like a drug addict going back to the dealer and saying, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. I got some more money here. And it's a way, and that's where the maturity of all of this comes out, is to say, whoa, get off the crazy train,
Well, yeah, exactly. And that makes a lot of sense. Now, Panda says, my coworker trades on the NASDAQ 100, makes 100 to 500 a day, but he also loses a lot. I'm trying to learn. So did you look at
learn how to lose?
Well, maybe that almost sounds like maybe it's for day trading, the MetaTrader 4. That's what I'm thinking. 4,
yeah. So MetaTrader 4 is also known as MT4, is an electronic trading platform widely used by online retail foreign exchange speculative traders. It was developed by MetaQuote Software and released in 2005.
Absolutely. And just to be clear on day trading, there's a lot of money that can be made on day trading, but the learning curve is massive. So you should, if you're getting brand new into day trading, be prepared to lose a lot of money, because you're going to lose a lot of money. Simple as that. Once you get good, even the good day traders, they're still, they're still losing money, but they're gaining more than they're losing. That's where the profit comes in. And even the best day trader is only right at the best 85% of the time, probably closer to 75% of the time normally.
That's
but
still a lot.
Those are people, though, who know what they're doing. They've been doing this for days. It's like the market even has a hiccup and they know about it before it happens. So you don't want to be a new person jumping in on that. You can bring some play money in on it if you want to, but make sure it's something that you're willing to lose, because you are probably going to lose it, just to be honest. Almost has FOMO today with Clifford Inu. Now, is that based off of that dog, Clifford?
The big red dog.
Yeah, there we go. If you guys use MetaTrader 4, you guys will kill it. Well, maybe. I think I would actually be good at day trading, but I also know I would lose a lot of money initially. Just, it's sort of the way it goes. Hi, I missed the notification. Well, you're here now, so welcome. And I think you missed the notification because StreamYard did something weird when I was setting it up today, and I think it tried to tell people my stream was at like 2 o'clock. So that's probably why you missed the notification. Dave D, me too, Ken, but didn't buy any. I FOMO into Rye's favorite stock. Not even going to mention that stock, but I made money off of that stock.
Oh, is that the one I'm thinking of?
It is the one you're thinking of, absolutely.
Oh my God, haven't we let that go yet?
Not yet. It seems to resprout every so often, and you have to get rid of it again and again. Oh dear. First joke of the night. And Fig Organ, buy high, sell low, consider it a donation. Well, that's absolutely true. When you're buying high and selling low, you're just giving your money to the people who are doing it the right way.
And you know what? I wonder if that's most people who hear something and say, buy it for me, and they don't know how to buy it, and they go, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, that sounds cool, and everyone's talking about it.
But there's a problem. When everybody's talking about it, it's probably too late.
Too late.
It's probably too late. It's when it's before people are talking about it. Or you happen to be the one that notices something is starting to move. That's when you're going to really make your money. And Dave says, I look for extremely low market cap coins. Once again, you can make a lot of money with them, but you got to be careful, because they can also go the opposite way. Yeah, I started a demo account on it. Well, hopefully you do well, Panda. And where you're the community's unofficial financial advisor, it's time to prove it. Senja and Kishimoto. So more of these coins that keep on popping up. So yes, these are 2 now. Okay, so I promised we'd go down the rabbit hole. And
here we go.
Let's do it. We're going to talk about something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Some of you may have heard of it. It's basically, it's a psychological theorem that shows the way people's motivations are layered in life. And we're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about it based on traders. So we're going to apply it to investors, which is going to be really, really cool. So the way Maslow is set up is that it's basically set up like a pyramid. So you've got all these layers of the pyramid, and each layer has to be fulfilled before you can fulfill the next layer. So it's all built. So anything at the bottom falls apart and everything comes crumbling down. So it's a very basic way that things work. So the very first thing is your psychological needs. Does this ring a bell?
Just get rid of Oracle's comment there, because I can't see the...
Oh, yes, I can get rid of his comment.
That'd be great. Thanks. Just for the folks too. There you go.
Absolutely. Okay. So the very
Good.
bottom thing is your psychological needs. So from a psychology side, this is basics like shelter, um, oxygen, all the very basic things that without them, you're going to die. So it's pretty basic. You need those before you can even start thinking about anything else. However, when we think about it from a trader's point of view, what we're actually looking at is your basic cash flow and your basic needs. Because this is what you need to be able to invest. If you don't have any cash flow, you're not going to be able to invest. You also need to make your basic needs. So that's going to be things like your rent, um, food, just basic living costs. So those are things that you need to have before you can even think about going a little bit deeper into investing. So when we come up to Maslow's next level is the safety needs. So these are just once you have all of the physiological, so you then start to move into, at this point you sort of start to move into house and things like that. Even though we've moved house down into the cash flow, Maslow has it built upon your next level. So that way there, once you have everything you need to live, then you need things like shelter to be able to protect yourself. So that way there, you can then look at building further upon yourself. Now with the investor version, we're looking at your financial safety. So your financial safety is going to be something like, you guys have heard me talk about the emergency fund over and over again. That would fall under financial safety. It's having the money and the finances there to act as a safety net. So that way there, when things do go wrong, you're not falling back into trying to make, basic needs and a cash flow. You still have your safety net. And that is highly, highly important before you can start looking at building a bit more. So once, of course, you have on the Maslow side, your safety needs, you start looking at belonging. So that's more or less connecting. That's where love, family, things like that all sort of flow when you look at it from the psychological model. But when we look at it from a finance model, this is where we do wealth accumulation. This is where we're starting to put the money together. So you're starting to actually build your portfolio. Your portfolio is getting nicer because if you think about it, in financial safety, this is where you've got the emergency fund. So this is where you have all of your safety nets in place. And now you're looking at building. So you're building, you're adding to your crypto, you're adding to your stock market. If you're into real estate, you might be adding to some real estate holdings. So that's where your wealth starts to pile up, which is a good thing. Now with Maslow, this all of these, so the psychological needs to your safety needs to your belonging leads to esteem. So basically you're starting to feel good about yourself. You're starting to understand who you are, your place in the world. Well, on the financial side, that's what we call financial freedom. So that's when you have, for example, you've probably heard the FIRE movement, things along that line. It's where you have the finances that you don't have to worry. You've got enough passive income. You've got passive income streams coming in. So you have the money moving that your life, you can pretty much do whatever you want. That's financial freedom. And that's kind of the goal. So when you retire, you want to definitely be in the financial freedom spot. Because if you're not, then you're going to have to work. You're going to have to find ways to still pull more income in. Now, you may be close to that. So you may have a lot of blue chip dividend stocks that are giving you a good passive income, which is fantastic. And you may just have to work on this a little bit more so that way there you can get there. But that's kind of the goal. Now, the end goal with Maslow is called self-actualization. So that's sort of where you kind of feel like you're a part of something bigger. It's, some people would call it being one with the universe, just feeling connected to everything. Well, on the financial side, that's what we call our estate. That's basically you've now had enough money coming in that you can support yourself. Plus, you can build an estate so that the people who, your children, your grandchildren, you have something to leave behind for them. So your journey on the financial scale has moved beyond yourself, and it's grown into a giant family. So that's kind of the whole concept of both of these. Now, how are these important, and why is this important to understand? I think the understanding is that it gives you an idea when we start talking about FUD, for example. So because these are based off of these, you can sort of translate them straight across. So in a situation of FUD, when you feel like everything's about to fall apart, so if you're in the wealth accumulation phase and everything is about to fall apart, well, that means you're going to fall down a tier. You're going to fall down to your financial safety, and hopefully you've got your emergency fund and everything, but you're good there. But this is kind of like, if you look at somebody on a psychological level, that whole feeling of belonging, it's like taking away that from them. So it's almost the same feeling as if I were to walk into your house and take your family away from you, the psychological turmoil that would cause, well, that's strong, just like FUD is, because it's sort of a similar thing, because where you're being knocked down a tier. And that's one of the reasons that things like FUD is so powerful. And when you think about FOMO, we all are looking for this financial freedom and, perhaps the estate, but mostly the financial freedom more than anything else. Anytime we see something that makes it look like we can jump from here to here, the power of that is it's insane, because this is sort of hardwired into our psychology, because it's going on this side. If you think about it, it's like going from, being part of a family to feeling good about yourself, and having that, building that esteem and that sense of who you are. And that's the kind of thing with this whole thing. So when you're trying to jump up, it's where FOMO can come in. It's where FOMO gains its power over you, because you're trying to climb this pyramid. Mm-hmm. And FUD is when you're possibly falling down, or you're afraid that you're going to fall down the pyramid, because we're all trying to climb. We're all making the same journey. But, FUD can actually, it's interesting. You could be in the wealth accumulation and you could give into FUD. And by giving into FUD, you could knock yourself down into financial safety, because you gave into it. You were so afraid of falling down here that you actually created the fall. Whereas if you ignored the FUD, did your research, made sure things were safe, did your due diligence, you could have stayed up in the wealth accumulation section without any real issues.
Do you get a sense that we started this journey, you and I, on YouTube, we started the journey, Ryan and Ken and a lot of the other community members here back at the beginning of this year. And do you think that because of what we've done in presentations like this, that people are not so much falling into this FUD and FOMO?
Oh, I absolutely believe it.
Because of what our experiences are and who we have on and what we're telling them to do?
Absolutely. I think what happened is, you take a year ago when Ryan first started, I think a lot of these people would fall into FUD, and they'd come back after the fact saying, oh my God, yeah, I sold this. But now I think a lot of people, they're either not giving into FUD because of the education we provided them, or they're at least coming in to get our reassurance to make sure that, to help them not fall into FUD. Mm-hmm. So, both of those are good, because it's sometimes if you know that you're doing something irrational, or you're just giving in to all of the doomsayers, sometimes it helps to just talk to some people and say, look, you guys do this for a living. What's really going on? What should I be looking at to make these decisions? I'm never going to tell you point blank, don't do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the information. Yep. I'm going to give you everything you need so that you make the right decision. but it's still in your court. It's still ultimately up to yourself to do that. All right, and we got a few comments here before we jump on to the next part of this. We're almost done the psychology part, folks. So 10% of paycheck goes to safety net. This is smart. And well, we all know that Ken's a smart guy, and that is absolutely brilliant. So I love that comment. And dividends, and it's just getting there is the hard part. Absolutely. And you know what? Here's the beautiful thing. The further up this you get, the easier it actually gets, as long as you're not allowing FUD and FOMO to rule your day. And now, yes, if you start young, I would love to have started investing like at 18. Just, that's ideal. And sometimes we have some viewers like SM Diecast. I don't think he's here tonight, but
no.
He's young and he's not old enough to invest yet, but he's on the ball. He's going to know what to do. That guy's going to be, by the time he's like 30, he's probably going to be a millionaire. That, and that's absolutely amazing. Do you guys think dividends are worth buying nowadays? I bought 18 shares of TELUS and I got a few bucks out of it.
Yes.
Passive income, you can't go wrong. What you may want to do, Panda, is I've got a video coming out on Monday. It's the high risk, high reward dividends. So there's some dividends there. Like there's one dividend there that pays a 19% return.
Whoa.
So just to give you a little peek of the type of dividends that we're talking about. Now, these are the type of, a lot of times with me, and this is how I do it. I will jump on some of the higher dividend payouts when we're in a bull market. But when it looks like we're going into a bull market, or when we're in a bull market, when it looks like we're going into a bear market, I then will move back down to my blue chip dividend payers. So those would be people like the banks or some of the utility companies.
And that's mostly for security purposes, right?
Yeah, they will perform. I know they're going to perform half decent through a bear market. Everybody needs a bank. Everybody needs power. So they're still going to have their revenue and their dividends are going to be fine. Also, the aristocrats, they have on the line, they have the fact that they have long streaks of paying, of not only paying out, but increasing the dividends every year.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them, they've got bragging rights they don't want to lose. So even if it's a year where they normally would think about cutting a dividend, they're not going to do it unless they absolutely have to. So those are kind of some of those safe ones when we actually get into a bear market. And we've got Nay in the house. I think this is the first time I've seen Nay. Hey, Nay. Awesome seeing you here.
¿Cómo está?
And so Nay is awesome. If you guys have not checked out Nay's Garden on YouTube, just search Nay's Garden. It will come up maybe multiple times. He has a lot of different channels. Nay is a very smart guy. He has a very entertaining show, and he has a great dog named Beazle. Just to put that out there.
What's the cat's name?
I don't know. The reason I remember
we said it the other day. Good Lord.
The reason I remember his song is, or his name, the dog's name is, one day Nay was playing this clip of him on the guitar singing a song about Beazle. Jesus. Like Beazle just beazling or something like that. And it just sort of stuck in my head. So it's like, yeah, I'll never forget Beazle's name. And Yo-Yo TFO. Panda, I spent $500 on 18 shares. I think crypto is the way to go, in my opinion. Yeah, crypto. I mean, crypto is not a bad investment. I just like diversification. So I try to keep both sides looking good. I keep a good balance between the two. I don't think crypto would ever collapse, but I'm also smart enough to know that, I could always be wrong. I don't think I am, but
it's called not putting all your eggs in one basket.
It is, absolutely.
And I think that comes from being burned, and it comes from maturity, and At least for me, it does.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's age too, if you think about it, because if you're in your 20s or your 30s, you can throw everything into crypto. And if something goes horribly wrong, you have time to recover. Once you start moving into your 40s and towards your 50s, the rules completely change. Because at that point, you need to start thinking about passive income. You need to start thinking about, how you want your retirement to look like. Even though at 40, it's still, 25 years away. If you haven't started building your dividends portfolio at that point, you may not have dividends as a passive income.
Right.
Maybe you can still use crypto to build a lot of a nest egg, and you can stake and things like that. So there are still options on both sides, but diversification, it does rule the day when it comes to the end. All right, Panda. I still remember the great stories you and Ken told us about how you guys got into crypto last Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. Those were cool stories. I don't know if you saw that, Tim, but last Saturday, Ken was on the show, and we just we gave our little stories about how we got into crypto. So it was kind of...
No, I don't.
See, you have to go back and watch now.
Yeah, I'll list my long as I got to watch.
I know. 19% say what it is. Say what? Oh, 19% say what? Watch my video tomorrow. There is some very high dividend paying.
Actually, Monday.
Sorry. Yeah, Monday. Thank you, Tim. All right. 19%. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Karina
Verena,
Kruger.
hey.
Hi there. Hey, Verena. How are you? And the friggin' Oracle Harris. All right.
We're caught up. That's the cat. That's Nate's cat, Harles.
Harles. Okay. Oh, that's an L. Harles. Okay. I got it. Awesome sauce. All right. The last little bit over here is we're just going to talk a tiny bit about primary fears in traders. So there's 4 primary fears. And I'm going to tell you right up front, this came out of a book that I have down below in my affiliate links. It's called Trading in the Zone. It's definitely a really good book to read. He came out with these 4 primary fears, and I wanted to share them because I think they're pretty good. So fear number 1 is losing money. Nobody wants to lose money. You don't start investing to lose money. But that's one of those big motivations. And if you think about FUD, that pulls into that. If you think about the hierarchy that we showed earlier, that also pulls into that. Your second one, being wrong. People sometimes will not, they'll make really bad decisions because they just are not willing to admit when they're wrong. And sometimes you're wrong. You just got to say, look, you know what? I have made a mistake. I'm wrong. You also have to not carry that with you. So if you make a mistake, so let's say you invested in, I don't know, we'll say Deed RD. So you invested in Deed. All right, Weed MD. We'll go with Weed MD.
Oh, Jesus.
I know, it's just the thing that popped into my head. But let's just say you invested in something like Weed MD, or it could be anything. It doesn't really matter what it is. We'll call it stock X. If you invest in stock X, you think it's going to go to the moon, and it just doesn't. And it starts eating away at your money and pulling you down over time. Well, sometimes you just got to say, you know what? I was wrong about stock X. I'm getting out. Simple as that. And getting out sometimes, even if you're in a loss, once again, that can help with your taxes. The other thing too is, especially if you get into day trading, I know that Panda was talking about it, when you make those horrible decisions and you just lose a ton of money right away, this is huge. You don't want to basically be at the point where you cripple yourself by the fact that you were wrong. Sometimes you just take ownership. A lot of people will sometimes blame the stock market. They'll say, oh, that's the stock market. The stock market just wasn't behaving correctly.
Yeah.
No, No, the stock market behaves exactly as it's designed to behave. It's a reflection of human psychology. That's what it does. You just didn't read it right. And there's nothing wrong with that because that happens to everybody. As I said, the best traders can only read it right 85% of the time. So, they're going to be wrong. The big thing is as long as you're not putting all of your eggs in the basket every time you go forward, then the times that you are wrong, it's not going to cripple you. So that's kind of a big thing. Number 3, and this is missing out. Once again, this is FOMO straight up. Everybody's talking about a stock going to the moon, and you jump on it, and you're too late, and you're the one who ends up paying for the moon trip that everybody else took. So you definitely want to watch out for that. And the last and final one is people have a fear of leaving money on the table. And that's a good fear to have. There's nothing wrong with actually taking money off of the table. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. I usually highly recommend it. If you're doing a lot of good trades and you're making a lot of extra profits, well, take some of the profits, move them into some of your safer bets. That way there, if the asset that you're investing in, if it decides to do something horribly wrong, you're still going to be in a good spot in the end. So it doesn't hurt to take your money off the table. It also doesn't hurt to leave money on the table depending on the situation. And you got to sort of look at it from the technicals, the fundamentals, and not from a stance of fear, uncertainty, doubt, or fear of missing out. Take those two off the table. Your money can stay on the table if it makes sense, and there's nothing wrong with taking it off. And that concludes our little presentation.
That was good.
All right. Oh, thanks. So Dave D says, yes, age for me. That's why I like crypto. I don't have 20 years to wait on stocks. And that's one of those things. There's a lot of people who are starting to get into investing at older ages. And, they don't have those years to build up a high portfolio. When you see things like, you hear about coins 10xing, a lot of times it's very tempting to jump in on that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't or you should. What I do say is make sure you're doing your due diligence. Make sure you're researching the stocks that you're jumping on or the coins that you're jumping on, because you want to make sure that you're not giving into the fear of missing out. So if you're jumping on a coin when it's at the end of its life cycle, you're not going to 10x. You may lose half your money. That's a reality. But if you do enough research and if you stay on top of the market, sort of like Ken does, Ken seems to know which coins are going to do really well before they do. And that's because he researches them. He goes on Twitter, he gets on all kinds of different calls. He gets into, little conferences with some of the makers, and he's on the ball. But you know what? Guess what? Ken makes mistakes too. He's been rug pulled maybe once. I think only once, but it does happen to the best of us. So you want to always just be diligent. Don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. And if you are in that age group where you just don't have a lot of time, there's ways to play it. There's ways to play it on the stock side too. I just want to put that out there too. Just the crypto is that it's much more shinier. So it draws the attention in pretty quickly. The only difference is when it comes to making fast, like especially when doing swing trades and things like that, on the stock side, sometimes they do take a little bit longer. And sometimes you may not make quite as much money as you can make on crypto side. However, on the stock side, a lot of times when they go wrong, you don't lose as much money as you would on the crypto side. So it's kind of works that way. So crypto can be high risk, high reward. So
that's a good point to bring up, because as you just mentioned, there's probably or potentially more people at an older age getting into the game of retirement savings. So, that might be something what you just said, to consider which avenue you're going to take, or how you're going to allocate your money. Is it 20% crypto, 80% stocks, stuff like that,
absolutely.
because they haven't got much. Well, I'm one of them, but we haven't got much runway left, right?
Well, that's true. And the other thing too is you don't have to whatever you pick initially, you don't have to stay there. So if you know nothing about crypto and you're, let's say you're 50 and you're just starting, well, start in stocks. If you know a little bit more about stocks, you can start with stocks. You can start building things up there, and then you can start looking into moving into crypto as you're learning more about it. Start with something like Bitcoin. Then while you're in Bitcoin, you can start learning about Ethereum, Polkadot, and a few others, obviously, Solano, Cardano. I mean, there's a lot of different coins.
And that's a good point, is that Bitcoin and Ethereum you can buy in as stocks, as ETFs right now too. So it does serve both sides of the equation.
Absolutely. And I imagine, at least in Canada anyway, I imagine you'll start to see some other ETFs start popping up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
And as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then some of the more utility-driven alts start to get a bit more adoption on the institutional side, you'll see those ETFs come along. Maybe not so much in the States, but up here you will.
Right. There's also nothing wrong with buying USDC and then just staking it. You're getting anywhere from 8 to 9%. And the and the USDC, or the stable coins, they fluctuate by a cent tops.
Yeah, they do.
No risk, but where else are you going to get that type of return on something? And it's like, it's still a coin.
Well, on the stock market side, you could watch my Monday video, and you'll get that 19% return on that one stock. A monthly return, by the way.
Monthly.
Well, it's 19%.
Uh-oh. Where'd you go?
I think.
You froze.
Okay, that was weird. Yeah, I saw it go black on my side as well.
I was waiting for it, and I went, oh, it's a secret she's not saying.
Oh.
No, is it Canadian or US?
Oh, it is Canadian.
Oh, really?
Yes, absolutely. I will.
No, I'm not laughing at you. Well, your voice is behind your picture now.
Oh, fun. This is definitely going to be fun then. Picture that I'm actually speaking in Japanese, but this is the voiceover.
You're synced now. You're good.
Oh, don't. Because that would have been so much fun. Okay.
I know.
Oh, dear.
You could have brought up the comments of subtitles and people going, what the fuck?
I know. Hey, Dan, welcome. I put $500 in Fortune, and it's worth about $40 now. Yeah, it's not good. But it goes to show you're going to make mistakes. Own them. Learn from them. That's the big thing.
You don't make money unless you make mistakes.
That is absolutely true.
You don't. It's not. You don't hit bullseye every time you throw that dart, buddy.
Yeah. And so Dave is saying, my employer talked me into taking profit. I sold 1,500 of sheep. 3 days later, it was worth 3,000. And that's why you need to make your own decision, right? Do your own technicals, your own fundamentals, your own TA. Do your own due diligence, and you decide when it's time to get out. Not because somebody tells you, oh, you should get out now. Because that is FUD. Simple as that.
I don't know how. Sorry, I can't. If I was to have as many coins as some people do that we associate with, in these times, like today, I'd be losing my crap.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't want to. That's a whole thing. I mean, even Warren Buffett says when it comes to diversification that you don't have to go absolutely crazy. Find the companies that you have full confidence in and invest in them. It doesn't have to be like 20, 30 companies. If you have 10 good companies that you have full faith in, then then your portfolio has 10 companies. Just as long as they're diversified across sectors, you're good. Same idea with crypto. In crypto, it's even more so. Like you don't need 100 different coins.
So is Warren Buffett still following? Because correct me if I'm wrong. Warren Buffett used to have the psychology of invest in what what he consumes. So Coke and McDonald's and all that stuff. Right? Does he still follow that program?
I think he does. I just don't think he talks a
About it.
lot about it anymore.
Do you think that would work in crypto?
Yes and no. I think if you look at a coin and you see the function that it does and you're thinking, okay, that's actually useful to my life, and so you invest in that, you're probably not going to go wrong. But a lot of times people don't understand how something works. So going back to polka dots, since that's one that a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand polka bridges and polka auction. My tongue is not working today. They don't understand the auctions. They don't understand parachains and parathreads. So because of that, sometimes people are like, I have no clue what that is. But it has an insane amount of functionality when it comes to being able to use polka bridges to talk between, let's say, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Well, what that type of technology will do is you could build something where somebody could pay Bitcoin. They could send a Bitcoin to you and have it arrive in Ethereum because the polka bridge would be able to actually communicate across those two networks. That's kind of just one little function that you could build into it. So it's that communication. But that's the whole thing. People just don't. Sometimes they'll look at it and they may not understand it. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't invest in it. It means that if you don't understand it, you need to talk to somebody who does, or you need to do the research to find out, to figure out what's going on. Because if something is that complicated, there's probably some good use to it. Because you take the meme coins that don't have a lot of functionality to them, they're not very complicated. Oh, a pretty dog named after Elon's dog. Cool. That's kind of what we're looking at when it comes to just the way they do things. All right. So Dave D says, that's why Ken is the friggin' oracle. And then you got it, Dave. And we got something from Nay's Garden. Segment on YouTube from last week tonight with John Oliver is what finally convinced me to get into crypto. And my success in it is what convinced me to place all of my wealth into it.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, Nay's very good at looking at what's going on. So he's not one of these people who's going to be blindsided by crypto making a crazy move, because Nay's in there. He's paying attention. And if crypto were to make a crazy move, the amount of attention that Nay's shows to it, he probably would see it before, and catch it and get out or move things to take advantage of it. So yeah, definitely. And I love John Oliver. He's a great guy. Okay, and Panda says no to something. I don't know what. Apollo 1 to 10. My first crypto that I bought was ETH in February or March. It was up 2,500, but didn't know when to take profits. SMH, I was such a noob.
So Panda, I'll let you know a little secret. I bought 3 coins at $600 of ETH, and I bought the rest of my coins between 18 and 21. And I still haven't cashed any of them out.
Oh, very cool. And I mean, Ethereum has a good use behind it. I mean, people complain about the gas fees, but the fact that almost, I would say, about 75% of NFTs are built on Ethereum. Now that number has gotten a little smaller as people are starting to use Matic and a few other networks, but Ethereum has a strong use, and now with the burning, it's a good investment. Okay, and so Dave D is still up on Shiba because he's only sold 32 million. The freaking Oracle, all my crypto assets are all profit from Shiba and Satama. I have paid myself in whole and running all. Or he's running AI, one of the two.
Running AI. Does he know what AI means?
I don't know. I'm sure he does. My crypto portfolio is all profit ran now. And we got Jason Spooner in the house. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Panda, I messed up on Shiba. I bought when it hit its first all-time high at 0.000003 in May, I think, then sold when I made my money back. Yeah, and that sometimes happens. That's what we've been sort of talking about earlier, is that by the time everybody is saying you should be buying something, that's probably the worst time to be buying it, to be honest. You know, sort of like the hype before Saturday Night Live. Oh, buy Doge, and you know, and that didn't end well. Let's see. Nice Ken, yo Jason, and hello Mary. How are you?
Hey Mary, welcome to the show.
Dave D, I'm still holding SHIB. Jason Spooner, even with the dip, I'm still 39 return on investment. Awesome, Tim. But did you shake today? Perfect. How you doing with the cash? That little cash thing Wealthsimple's got going on. Have you been getting your gifts?
Just started doing that.
Nice.
Oh, Wealthsimple. No.
No, the Wealthsimple one. Yeah.
No, I haven't. No, I don't. I don't use Wealthsimple. I use ShakePay because it's Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, I'm
kind of stuck. I'm kind of stuck on trying to blow my budget to blow all that 5,000 into 4% up until the end of the year to get as much stock, as much sats as I can. I've got Nancy set up on it, and I said, don't you dare use your client card. Use this, and I'm going for it. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me.
Well, here's the thing too, especially with the supply chain issues. It's probably before the end of the year, just start stocking up on your pantry items and stuff, and you know, then you're getting your sats on that as well, and that's you know, that's not a bad thing. Jason is loving the ShakePay card. I'm loving the card too. I can't wait to get an actual physical copy though, because that will just make things easier. There's a few stores that I go to that they don't have tap, and unless you get a physical card, you can't use them. But I'm using the Wealthsimple on those ones to at least get that 1% back. But I'd rather be getting the 4%. So that's kind of a good little thing there. Yeah, but with the contest with the Wealthsimple Cash, this is for, I guess, the chat. Has anybody gotten $10 yet on one of their trades? I've gotten $5. That's my record right now. Because you can get anywhere from 10 cents to $10 each time you do a trade on that app using the gift emoticon.
On trade. So that's Wealthsimple Trade?
Well, no, it's Wealthsimple Cash. So anytime you you trade or just send somebody $1,
okay,
you get a gift that ranges from 10 cents to $10.
Right.
Most of the times I get 10 cents, and then every so often 25 or 50 cents, and gotten $2 a few times, and then I got the $5 the other day. Now I just want to get the $10 once before it's over at the end of the year.
Kind of their equivalency to the ShakePay getting sats.
It is. I think you can make a lot more money on ShakePay. I mean, if you have a lot to spend right now using that 4%, absolutely. But at the same time, it's free money, so I don't mind free money.
Absolutely. Hey, listen,
that makes a lot of sense to me. So what's coming up this week on your channel?
So I am trying. Well, I don't know if we're gonna have Hawes back on. I haven't heard back from Hawes, but I've reached out to Mario Givney from Leaden, and it was something actually Ryan had. I'd had the email, but I saw it first from Ryan about Leaden now offering mortgages.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's like, because I was thinking of using Leaden, starting to use Leaden a little bit more than BlockFi, and especially I'm looking at. I'm still weighing out, but I would like to somehow be earning or banking BTC for my corporation for what I do. It's a corporation, folks. It's not that big. It's just me, myself, and I, and a bottle washer, right?
Well,
but
it works.
It's still a corporation, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to I'm trying to get Mario Givney back on for Wednesday night. He said I've had initial chats with him. He said, yeah, I'd love to come back on. So I'm trying to get him back to talk about it. Give us an update on Leaden. I think we need to revisit that.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think we're going to. I'm not planning on moving any coins or anything. We're holding tight until the new year.
That makes sense.
I know that on one of the streams, was it last night or was it the after show on our show? I was kind of getting a sense of, probably the after show of our show, getting a sense that, what are the drawbacks, or what are the pluses of not doing anything with the coins and just letting it ride for another 4 years and see what happens?
Well,
and the answer to that is, what coins have you got?
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, if you've got some of the strong ones that have good fundamentals, you're probably okay to do that.
Yep.
I mean, Bitcoin will be worth a lot more in 4 years.
Yep.
Ethereum, the same. Polkadot, Solano, probably even Cardano. Even though I don't have as much faith in Cardano as I used to, but it still has some of the fundamentals, and if they get their butts in gear, they'll be fine. And maybe even Satama now, with their with their whole swap idea. That's actually looking very interesting. Ken is slowly winning me over. But that's what he does.
I've got a small position in Satama. I've got a small position in Kitty. That's about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I'm nervous about XRP because I hold a ton of XRP.
I can understand being nervous about XRP. It's one of those things where you just don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. I think it's going to be okay. I don't think that they can. I mean, it's been here through what, since 2013?
Yeah, I mean, in this battle, I think they'll win it eventually. Yep. Just how long is the SEC going to drag it out?
And that's one of the ones I'm saying, is that the one I just hold on to, and it just gets picked up in the next cycle.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But that's all. I've got a lot of dough in that, and it's like, oh.
So didn't that Dave guy say that all the crypto cards count as capital gains? Only if you sell them.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that you invest in that you sell, whether, in the crypto market, I mean, yeah, that would be a capital gain.
And that's a good point, because if you have stable coins and you're earning that interest on it, and you have the interest being reinvested into the stable coins, that is not a taxable event yet, because you haven't withdrawn it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. All right, and that was, that was Dave. Jason said, Tim and Nancy trying to beat Ken's 6-hour stream.
No. Not a chance.
I will honestly say I was surprised at how long that stream went, because that was long for you guys.
My God. That ours was, yeah. Holy man, yeah. It was like, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, BTC backed mortgages. I think he means
Oh,
mortgages,
Ken's into
but
the happy.
absolutely. Listening to Ken, Nays, and Rye get high and drunk was good entertainment while I was at work. Yeah, there was some sloshing going around last night for sure. It was definitely amusing. As I said, if you just watched Ryan's response to the metaverse, that is worth the price of admission for last night.
At what point of the show was that?
It's towards the end, probably the last 2 hours.
Oh, Jesus, that narrows it down. Holy
I know.
shit. 6 hours, that's the last third of the show, but it's 2 hours. It's like, okay.
I know.
I get it.
It probably even say the last hour and a half to be a little bit more succinct there. So Dave D, I love watching it on Friday night. It's awesome. Absolutely. And there was a lot of good jokes last night. Yeah, that's what I was there for. The friggin' Oracle, yes. And then we got Patricia. It's getting delisted on Newton, so I stool them out.
XRP.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can always sell XRP on a foreign exchange and send Ether BTC back. So that's true. You could do that. Transfer it to, I think Kraken has it.
Did I see that OMI was now on a different exchange other than Ascendex? Ken?
I don't know.
Ken.
Yeah,
I should have
Ken.
finished that sentence.
Yeah, answer that, Ken.
Yeah, Ken. Go on.
And while we're waiting for Ken to answer, are Shake Pay rewards taxed? Yes. They count as $0 crypto. So let's say, for example, throughout the entire year, you got $100 in Bitcoin. You would claim it as $0 Bitcoin. And then if you sold, well, it's going to go into your base average for everything. It will lower it down. So when you do sell, it does impact a little bit, but it's such a small amount compared to what you're investing that you're really not going to notice it, but it does count. And over on the Danter show, there's a two-parter that Tim has up there on taxes featuring myself. So go check that out if you haven't yet. We sort of break it all right down for you and even provide a spreadsheet for you to play with. And Christine is here. Hi, Christine. And Nate is here. Hey, everyone.
Nate.
Newton
Nate, are you in your basement?
Nate was making a video today, so
I
don't know if he got it up or if he was just doing the filming for it, but I'm looking forward to it. Nate's been doing some awesome videos, folks, lately. If you guys have not subscribed to Nate Palmatier, it's exactly as it's spelled. If you just do a search on YouTube, go check him out. He's pretty awesome. He's a good guy. And we've got Ryan back again. So yikes, Jay. Hey, Nate and Christine. Rye too, geez. Christine says hi to Panda. Hey, Tim and Candace, great to see you taking a bit of a break from editing. So there's the answer. He is still editing. I know editing can sometimes be fun. And Nate, he does some really good editing. He does a lot of good
I don't know
cuts.
how he does it. Like the stuff he does is like, it's professional, like serious professional grade. And I just go, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try. That's what my videos look like when I'm sleeping. But when they're on the YouTube, totally different outcome. I don't know. Something happens on the upload or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, exactly. How do I keep myself from buying when I see so many people making gains on a certain project?
Hammer and bang. Little wake up, little elastic band snap,
Yeah.
Wake up. Stop that.
Exactly. And then keep in mind too, it's a lot of times too, when you're starting to notice people making all these gains, it's probably too late. So if you can remember that, then, you're hopefully not going to jump in. It is really tempting. And part of it too is peer pressure. If you think about it too, I mean, there's also that whole thing. Oh, look at all these people in the sheep army making money. I need to be in the sheep army. Well, you don't need to be in the sheep army. It's too late. You can be a general if you want, because the coins are going to be a lot cheaper, so you'll be able to buy a lot more and get there quicker. But it's just one of those things. You have to kind of really do your tokenomics, read your white papers, look at the new coins coming up, see if if one of them makes sense as one to perhaps jump in on early. And that might be a way to go. Nate is in his living room. Thank you, Nate. We needed to know that. Thanks for the kudos. Absolutely. Holy banana bread, Candace. 214 subscribed.
Good for you. Way to go.
Wow.
Yay.
Now, of course, that would be all capital holy banana bread if another 214 had just subscribed and I was up to like 400 and something. But you know what? I'm taking it day by day. It's like it's growing, it's moving in the right direction, and I'm patient. I can be very, very patient. I'll just keep on producing half-decent content, make people happy, give them the dividend videos, which everyone really loves. What do you guys think about YouTube by psychology, where there is almost a push on certain projects or stocks? Well, that is pure dealing FOMO. That's what a lot of these YouTubers are doing.
What does he mean by that? All the big name, all the influencers on there?
Yeah, some of the big influencers. So when you have somebody, we won't name somebody, but somebody in America who perhaps has 1 million subscribers, and a lot of times he's being paid to pump a stock, or if he's not being paid, he's buying that stock or that coin. We'll just stick to coins. So he's buying that coin, and then he's pumping it like crazy to the 1 million people who watch his show, and they all go buy that coin. That coin goes up. He sells the coin. The price starts going down, and all of these people who bought in are then kind of left with no real profits. Maybe a few who got in at the very beginning might have some profits, but and obviously what he will then do is the few that got in right after him who left glowing recommendations for him in the comments, he's then going to highlight them. So it makes it look like everybody's just making bank off of all of his advice, which then sets up the whole FOMO for the next time it comes around. So it happens. You have to always be using your own due diligence. If a YouTuber tells you absolutely have to get in now on the stock, then you absolutely don't have to get in now on the stock.
But they're so sneaky. Yeah, they're so sneaky because they don't come out and say you have to. The words like that, you know what I'm saying? That it's just like they give you the sense on how they deliver it to you, and it's like, oh, and then of course, if they're like you, if they're like me, I'm just like, oh man, I'm on CoinGecko or coin whatever, and I'm looking, I'm going, and then that gets us going. It's like, and then I go, whoa, brakes on, stop.
Yeah,
not doing it. I am not doing it. I mean, I guess what stops me the most is that it's just I only put in enough money into something to purchase it into an exchange, if you will. I don't. So for me to have to put money into exchange, I've got to take it from Canadian, put it in here, put it in there. So that's kind of slowing me down to make me breathe and go, do I need this or want this?
Mm-hmm. An interesting thing too is that, I mean, they'll always bring up that they're not a financial advisor, which is good.
They're not.
But then they will pretty much lead you by the nose straight to a stock. Now, here's an interesting thing. If they were a financial advisor, one of the things that you learn when you're studying to become a financial advisor, and I'm speaking from experience because I am studying this, is that if a client wants a stock, you have to, and you want the same stock, you have to process theirs first.
Say that again.
So let's say you are my client.
Yeah.
And I came to you and I said, well, I've got a lot of faith in canoe.eit, and I think it would be great for your portfolio. And you're saying, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna buy a couple thousand stocks of it. Well, I can't go in and buy 1,000 of my own first and then put yours in, because you're going to pump the price and then I could sell. So by law, what I have to do is I have to put yours in first, then I can put mine in. If I don't do it the other way and they caught me, I would lose my license.
Yeah, but it goes on all the time, doesn't it?
It's not supposed to if they get caught.
No, I know it's not supposed to. But...
yeah, it probably does happen, and maybe they don't get caught. But there is, the regulatory boards, they're looking over a lot of this with fine-tooth comb. I wouldn't risk it, because there goes your livelihood right there from something stupid. So that's kind of one of those things. But these are what they're not doing. They're not being ethical by buying the stock and then pumping it. If anything, if it's a situation where I bought a stock and I talk about it on my show, I'll let you know, look, I bought the stock. It is a good stock. Do your own diligence. Take a look at it. If it's right for your portfolio, do what you want. But, I'm not going to make it sound like it's going to, make your portfolio glow and, everybody be happy with the best move that you could have made type thing. So it's kind of interesting that way. Okay, let's get through a few more of these comments, and let's get your final comments in, guys, because we've got, we're planning on doing about 90 minutes today, so another 10 minutes roughly. Okay, let's see, where is our last person? Oh, here, Dave D. When they push it, it's too late. Absolutely. So like Andre or Graham or Kevin, those guys. Yes. I always find it funny that Kevin will, or not Kevin, but Andre and Graham will do almost the exact same video on the same day, like consistently. I've just like, seriously?
Who are they?
Two big YouTubers in the financial zone. They mostly do stocks. Mostly, Andre does dabble a bit more into crypto.
Honestly, I'm not a stock guy. I have someone that does that, and I strongly believe in stocks. I strongly believe in diversification. But when I do watch videos on stock, I watch two people. Can you guess who one of them is?
Palmentero? No, he's not stocks. Well, probably Rye, of course.
Right. And Brandon Beavis.
Oh, Brandon. You could have said me. I talk about stocks a fair amount too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Brandon Beavis is...
you too. No, of course you too. So 3.
No, Brandon Beavis
but you
is good.
Just started. Yeah, that's not fair. You just started.
I know. Brandon Beavis is good. I've actually thought his show's quality has gone up quite a bit once he added his dad to the mix.
Yes. Yeah.
Because his dad is
a lot, but
his dad is a financial advisor, and he brings a lot of down to earthness to the show.
But didn't he say, what was his? We don't watch him very often, except something catches our eye. He cashed in his whole or a lot of his TFSA to buy his house.
Yeah, I think he did. I think that he had a deal, and I think he was not getting married, but about to have a baby or something.
Have a baby,
but so. Yeah, very cool. Does he rhyme with BitBoy? Yes, my example was that who you're thinking of.
Ben.
Yes. Sorry, just trying to ask some trading psychology questions. Oh gosh, no problem, Nate. I appreciate trading psychology questions. We actually did a whole big part at the beginning on trading psychology. I don't know if you were here for that or not.
Are you trading the psychology questions, or are you trading psychology questions?
Exactly. LOL Jason. Run guys have made me money. All right. I started following BitBoy in 2017 when he had like 300 followers on Instagram. I watch Crypto R Us just because he is so positive. Yeah, I like positive. Absolutely. Yeah, Tim, we need to start looking for projects that others are not looking at. So like Mana, if you guys talked about it in 2018, it would have been exciting, but now it is.
Wouldn't have been exciting.
Wouldn't have been excited. Is Chainlink ever going to go up again? I think everything will rise. Is it ever going to pump seriously again? That's not as likely, but you never know.
So the question would be to the community, the coins you have now, you're probably in a loss. Probably. If they, in this last run, because there probably is going to be one more little run, go back to par at what you bought it at, would you get out? Or would you surpass that and have a bit of greed take over? I'll tell you what I would do.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a few things earmarked that once I get into the green, they're being moved to areas where it's a little more stable. Mm-hmm. So I do have a few things like that. Now that's more on the stock side though, because I've already made most of my moves on the crypto side.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I pay attention to what's going on. So sometimes I would rather make a move and be wrong than not make the move and be wrong. Because not making the move and being wrong will cost me money, whereas making the move and being wrong does not. Okay, the freaking Oracle. Nate, have a look at Satya Mask and all the FUD. It will blow your mind. Jason, I'm stacking Link right now by stacking like $60 per month. Okay, I'll have a look. Oracle. Remember when Candace said she is a off-camera kind of girl? Look at her now. Great content, Candace. Just give me a second. It's a mirror. I had to he said to look at her now. So, I have really bad humor. The YouTubers are just pumping for profit from the coins and views for YouTube payment. Absolutely. I don't think Binance wants Satya Mask to come out. Probably not. We'll have to get back to editing. I just finished the intro. Have a great night, you guys. Jesus. Awesome. I'll stick around for 10 minutes. Okay.
Oh, Nate, you're funny.
This was a good show. Solid background listener. Now, if only he danced, then he could be the background dancer. That's sounded funnier in my head than it really was. Oh, banana bread. Panda, I'm down on everything except Tellus. Well, there's a reason why. I mean, Tellus has just been, they've been doing solid. Also, the banks, all my banks have been green. I don't know if you've noticed that. And that's just because, well, they're doing buybacks on the shares and they've raised their dividends. So people are a little excited about Canadian banks.
You think that'll last though?
I think right now it will, because there's a lot of them, their quarterly dividend payments are coming out in January. So at least until January, I think they're going to stay in the green. And then after that, we will have to see. And the freaking Oracle, exactly. Binance is looking at Satya Mask as a huge threat. All right, guys, we got about 5 more minutes. If you guys got any other thingies in there. So once again, I'll just mention I am doing a stream next week, Christmas Day. It's not going to be in the evening. It's going to be earlier in the day. I don't know the exact time yet, but I'll post it the second I know when it's going to be. And it's probably only going to be about an hour. Now, if any of you want to give a quick, happy holidays or just a greeting to the community, I would be more than happy to take a quick little video of you to do that. You don't have to be on the show. We could just pop the video up just to say, hey, wishing you all the best, Happy New Year, all of that stuff. If you want to just do it as a note, I could put it up on a decorative little thing, same kind of idea. So I'd love to get a few of those in. I haven't gotten any in yet, so I know a lot of you guys like to wait to the last minute, so we still have a bunch of minutes left. But I'll start bugging in chat during the week, because I would definitely like to get a few of those out as a way for everybody to just say, just wish the whole community. And that goes, I mean, and this to me, this Saturday show, it's not even a financial brew show. As far as I'm concerned, it's the community show. It's just a hey to everybody. Otherwise, I'll have to come up with content if I don't have a bunch of stuff from you guys, and I'll figure something out. So don't feel like, don't put your family over that show, because if I have it a bit earlier and you, open gifts with your family, watch the show later. I don't care if there's nobody watching the show when I go live next week. I'd rather, if that means you're all with your families, then I am absolutely 100% behind that. I just want to, put something together that you can watch a little bit later after, you're lying there after having turkey and you're going, oh, let's just watch YouTube. So that's the idea. And Dave D says, great show, Candace, the freaking Oracle. Oh, Candace, I will be there. Ha ha ha. You should have said ho ho ho. Instead of ha ha. Anyway. All right, dying minutes, folks. So thank you to Tim once again for coming by. We've already got the plug on his channel. Remember, anybody here who has not checked out the Danter's channel, their link is down below. Or you can just search Tim and Nancy Danter on YouTube. Go in, subscribe, watch their Crypto Night in Canada every Wednesday night. I am there. It is a lot of fun, except for last Wednesday, but it is a lot of fun. So anyway, everybody, Jason here has one last comment. We'll end it on Jason. So Friday is the drinking night show. Saturday is the hangover show.
Friday night's the endurance show.
Absolutely. And I don't know if he means every Saturday is the hangover show, but I think perhaps the Christmas one is the hangover show. And Danters to 1,000, absolutely. And we'll end on Dave D then. I'm going to say the M word. Merry Christmas, everyone. So happy holidays, happy Festivus, happy Hanukkah, happy all the others. Hi, this is Candace's roommate. I can confirm that is true.
Has she liked and subscribed to the channel, by the way?
I don't know if she has liked and subscribed to your channel, but I will.
Jill.
I will talk to her. I'll make sure she does it, just to get you guys one step closer. Holy banana bread! We almost escape, and then my roommate pops in. Right? Merry Christmas to everybody. So, and then there was that other one. There's one holiday I'm missing in there. It's the one that's in like Zimbabwe. What is that one called? Somebody knows. That one holiday, the one from Africa. It's oh my God, my mind has gone completely blank. Oh well. Anyway, I wish you guys that too. I don't know what it is, but it's a good holiday. So, or just happy holidays. Anyway, it's been wonderful. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for dropping in. I will see you next time.